Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And today there are two great stories waiting for us, so let's get started. I don't work here, ma'am. I don't work here, manager. If you're from Malaysia, you know that salesperson who is working in any department store wear black or white uniform. For some brands, they either wear long black sleeve with black pants or white long sleeve with black pants. But for cosmetic department, they have to wear either black skirt with black long sleeve or black knee-length dress, never white top. Back to my story. I can't say which department store this is. To be honest, I love this store, and it's been since 1999. I'm 39 years old this year, and when this happens, I'm around 20-something. From the first renovation to the recent one, and some workers stayed from the first renovation too. The old staff know me as a regular, and my relationship with every salesperson is friendly. The only changes is manager or the floor manager. They come and go like a fast car. Cast. Me is me. Sales girl is SG. Secrets customer, SC. I forgot to mention, in every department store, they pay someone to become a secret customer. I'm not remembering if it's the right words. Basically, this person will become a customer to see if the salesperson is doing their work or not, and they'll give the information about anything or whatever to the manager, sometimes resulting in the salesperson getting fired or the brand closed down, and they normally come in on busy day like the weekends or holidays. Manager/floor manager, M. And this just happened to me on Sunday a few years ago. After back from church for Sunday Mass, 5 p.m. Mass, I was thinking to do some shopping at the mall, department store near the church. And my house is quite far from the church, so it'll be time wasting to go home to change my clothes and then go back to the same direction of the church. Nothing wrong what I wear, just black knee-length dress with black shoe. I just feel comfortable wearing black when I'm going to church. With the rush hours and everything, not a good idea. As usual, I started from cosmetic department, as it close to entrance. While I was browsing the perfume in there, suddenly the sales girl had to go to the toilet. If you have to go, you have to go. And I told her I'll be okay. Few minutes or so, my husband just came from the man section and told me that he wants to go to shoe section and told me if I'm done to meet him over there. I said okay, and he kissed my cheek and hugged me. This is normal for non-Malaysia, but not so for local. It's our first mistake. At that time, I do notice a lady just staring at me and my husband, so I just ignore it. But my second mistake is, while I was browsing the perfume bottle, I stupidly rearranged the bottle because I was trying it on and thought if you make a mess, you have to clean it or something, or just tidy up. And that's when it happened. The ahem. I thought she just wanted to test the perfume herself, so I moved a bit, and the ahem sound followed me. So I turned and looked at her. Me. I just look at her SCs. She looked at me. We look at each other for a few minutes. And that's when I started the conversation, or questions actually. Me. Yes. And she straight to this. SC. Are you blind? I've been standing behind you for 10 minutes. Me. Oh, my apologies. Here. And I moved. I'm nearly done. But my heart's beating so fast, I'm a bit surprised and angry too. SC. I want to get blank for a present, while spraying and touching the bottles. I just look at her and think she's needing my opinion or something, and she turned around to look at me. Again, I looked at her with a blank face. Me. Okay. SC. Don't you okay me? Are you stupid or what? Help me find something suitable for blank. Sales girls nowadays are so stupid and acting like a whore. They prefer the male customers than women. Bitch slut. Basically, this is a mild translation from the Malaysian language, but when she said it in Malaysian, it makes you want to spray her mouth with Kenzo perfume or with antiseptic spray. And with that, I fire back. Me. Pig, I don't work here, and this have nothing to do with me. So stupid, and I walk away. I didn't know during that conversation she recorded me. So I walked to where my husband was. While my husband was trying on shoes, I sat in the sitting area next to it and talked with the sales girls and salesmen about some random things. I just sat there for about 20 minutes or so, and my husband was busy trying on shoes, and people say women spend hours trying on shoes. Well, they never met my husband. That's when suddenly the SC and another lady, manager, comes like a dog in heat. SC says loudly, "That's her, that bitch, pig, blah, 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 blah." Manager, what are you doing here? Me, crossing my legs, looking at her and saying, sitting? Manager. You know today's a busy day. It's Sunday. Why did you leave your counter? Me. I don't have a counter. I don't work here. SC. You have to do something about your staff. She behaves like a slut, kissing and hugging male customers. What is this place, a prostitute house? She works here so she can find a rich customer to F? While she played the recording of me insulting her. When SC insults me with her loud voice, everyone on the floor came closer to listen and watch. I just looked around. You have no idea how mortified I was. I was worried that if SC attacks me, hair-pulling attack is very scary. Me. If I were you, I'd be very careful what I'm saying. Hide your stupidity a bit. You're embarrassing yourself. Manager. How dare you talk like that to a customer? Give me your supervisor number. I want you out of here. What's wrong with you? Do you think this is your father's house sitting like that? Shoe salesgirl. Ma'am. Manager. Shut up. You're all here to work, not chit-chat and ignore customers. The customer's always right. That's our store motto. Blah, 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 blah. I just switched myself off at that point. And that's about the time I'd had enough. I just screamed. Me. Honey! My husband came with 3 boxes of shoes with him, dropping the boxes and standing in front of me. Husband. Well, what's going on? Me. I stuttered and started to cry. And that's about the time the crowd became more and I felt suffocated. I couldn't talk, I just cried. Husband, I ask you what's going on, to the manager and the SC. Manager, I'm so sorry, sir. Who are you? SC, that's her sugar daddy, the one I'll show you. In Malaysia language, my husband is not local and he doesn't understand the language they spoke. Husband, I am her husband. What did you do to my wife? The SC and manager just stood there looking at me, my husband all around them, stuttering something. The salesgirl started to explain everything to my husband about the recording, the insult. That's when the M and SC thought that I was a salesgirl. And my husband started yelling at them. You recorded me kissing my wife? How sick are you? Do you enjoy harassing married couples? And you think my wife works at your department store? Look at what she's wearing. Do you think? SC, she's wearing uniform. Husband, you dumb cow, it's Sunday. We just came back from church. That's definitely not a cheap black dress like your staff wears. How come you confuse her to be one of your staff and didn't know who works at your place? Manager, I just recently transferred here. Husband, that's not an excuse. Even if my wife is your employee, no one in his or her right mind should insult their staff in public. That's not the way you do your job. You think you're showing good leadership, but you're just showing that you're stupid and arrogant. That's about the time the cosmetics, aka perfume salesgirl, came over with 2 boxes of my stuff. Perfume salesgirl, Mrs. Blank, here's your... And she stopped talking and looked around. M and SC just stood there like mannequins. I could see M's face looked scared now. Husband, we canceled our purchase. I'm sorry. I can't buy stuff from a store that disrespects people. On that day, I can say they lost a lot of money from customers, us. I don't think they'll mind losing a sale that day. They still had other customers. But the manager had a bad reputation after that. What we heard was that she didn't work with any department store. We heard that she caused so much trouble at the department store she worked before this one. Her stupid rule and habit of insulting staff in front of customers made her a target of other angry staff and her car. Doesn't matter where she'd park it, it would always be scratched or broken windshield, etc. She changed her car, same as how she changed her job from one department store to the other until she resigned completely. This is an example of a serious workplace problem, assigning supervisory duties to unqualified people and failing to train them to manage people. It's such a stupid mistake and so easily fixed. The store has lost at least 2 forever customers that day, and although the manager ultimately lost her job for it, the store is the real culprit. I'm glad your husband stepped in and put them both in their place. And our second story. I don't work here. Why not do this again? Now, I'm pretty much a fixture in the local grocery store. Almost every day I'm in there because I like to cook, but I don't always remember to get all the ingredients and have to go back. I'm in the grocery store so much I know most of the staff by name. A couple of my neighbors even work there. But anyway, I was walking around the aisles picking up beef broth, vegetables, and whatnot when I saw a lady wandering the aisle aimlessly. So I thought I'd be considerate and ask her if I could help. The elderly lady was looking for baking goods. I know this store like the back of my hand and know exactly where that is. So as we walked to the baking aisle, we struck up a conversation. The sweet elderly lady asked me if I would help her with her shopping because she'd never been in this store before. I said, sure, why not? I was in no big hurry. I live in the apartments right behind the store. Actually, right behind the store. I can stand on my patio, take off a shoe, and actually hit the back of it. So we wound up doing all of her shopping together. She began to tell me about her kids and grandkids, and she was soon to be a great-grandmother. She's a very pleasant woman. I actually learned a few things she told me that she'd seen in her lifetime. We walked the aisles, taking the items on her list and throwing them in the shopping cart, and she'd check the items off. Finally, about half an hour later, we proceeded to check out. I told her I'd be right back because I almost forgot what I'd gone there for. As I returned to the register, the elderly lady was telling the manager what a nice employee I was and didn't want me to get in trouble for taking up my time. Dean, the manager, smiled and told her that I don't work there. The elderly lady looked at me puzzled and apologized for taking so much of my personal time. I told her I was in no rush and that I live in the apartments nearby. Turns out she just moved several apartments away across the apartment complex. We walked home to our apartments, and she smiled and asked me why I helped her if I didn't work there. I said that my parents raised me to help others, without reward. I gave her the groceries and told her if she needed any help or wanted to go shopping to let me know. The elderly woman said she did her shopping every Monday and if I wouldn't mind going and keeping company. I told her it was very kind of her to try to keep me from getting fired, even though I don't work there. So now I have a shopping buddy and someone to talk with and share coupons. I know this doesn't have a screaming entitled Karen or a brat, but I just wanted to share this I Don't Work Here story. So thanks for reading. Have a great day. And thank you all for watching the video to the end. I'll see you in the next one.